more than 200,000 people walked from the Washington Monument to the Lincoln Memorial in the most massive protest demonstration this country had ever seen.
The 1963 March on Washington is one of the most well-known civil rights protests in American history. But the man behind the march remains almost unknown. When choosing, I wanted to find someone who was little known, someone involved in civil rights, someone involved in gay rights, or someone involved in peace activism. What I found in Bayard Rustin was all three. As a homosexual African-American Quaker, Bayard Rustin was a dream come true. Let's ask a well-known historian to find out.
I'm a master historian.
Rustin was born in March 17, 1912, in Westchester, Pennsylvania. He joined the Young Communist League in 1936, but he left in 1941 because he disagreed with Russia's changing policies. Let's get down to the real meat of his life, the very marrow of his bones. In 1942, he assisted George Hauser, James Farmer, and Bernice Fisher in forming the Congress of Racial Equity, otherwise known as CORE! From 1944 to 1946, Rustin was imprisoned for violating the Selective Service Act. In 1947, Rustin and others organized freedom rides. Let's roll that clip. Can we? Can we?
No.
Roll that clip!
Shut up!
From 1947 to 1952, Rustin went to Africa and India to meet with the leaders in non-violent protest, including followers of Gandhi. He really brings the methods back to the United States. He brings them back. In 1956, he began to advise Martin Luther King Jr. about using Gandhian methods of peaceful activism. He assisted in the Montgomery bus boycott and really defined Martin Luther King Jr.'s policy of peace. In 1963, he and others planned the March on Washington for jobs and freedom. This was a dark time for Rustin. I think we should turn to the dark historian.
I am the Dark Master Historian.
Rustin's open homosexuality was the butt of prejudice and homophobia, causing people to mistrust him, to fire him, and many of the projects he worked on to be viewed as tainted. Senator Strom Thurmond even called Rustin a communist, a sexual pervert, and a draft dodger. The big scandal was that some members of Congress threatened to reveal pictures of Rustin and talking to King while King was in a bathtub. Rumors were flying around that King and Rustin were having sexual relations. Both men denied the accusations. This caused King and Rustin to separate for a short time. As a result of the scandal, the NAACP chairman banned Rustin from getting public recognition for his planning of the brilliant March on Washington. Now we can get back to the regular historian.
I am the Master Historian.
From the 1970s to the 1980s, Rustin worked as a human rights and election monitor for Freedom House, and he testified for the New York Gay Rights
Bill.
1987, Rustin died of a perforated appendix. However, he was outlived by his partner,
Walter Nagel!
The following are clips from the documentary Brother Outsider about the life of Bayard Rustin.
We will not tolerate the beating on of black people any longer. We will stay in these damn streets until every Negro in the country can vote.
Like Martin Luther King Jr., Bayard Rustin stood for equality and justice for people of all colors. He was persecuted for his homosexuality, and as a result, Rustin was forgotten by many and pushed into the shadows of history. As a pacifist, he represented nonviolence and advocated an end to police brutality. As a gay man, he advocated the end of discrimination for sexual orientation. And as a black man, he rallied the support of the African Americans across the country to fight for their rights.
I don't think without Bayard Rustin, the modern civil rights movement would have won half of the victories that it won.
His involvement in the civil rights movement of the 1960s has shaped the history of America forever. For his contribution to a better country, Rustin deserves light to be shed on his accomplishments, and for his face to be on the newest United States bill.